Welcome back to Seattle's Morning News. I'm Travis Mayfield in for Dave Ross. Colleen O'Brien here, as well as Sully at the traffic desk. Well, thank goodness. It looks like the Mariners may be back on track after a solid win yesterday on the road in San Diego. Producer of Seattle's Morning News, David Burbank, watching the game. David, you're smarter about sports than I am. What did you see?
Well, the M's looked like how we all kind of hoped they would look, honestly. Solid pitching, mistake-free defense, and just enough hitting when it mattered. So I'm going to set the scene a little bit. The matchup was between them and the San Diego Padres. This was a matchup between two teams that have been severely underperforming in the season so far. Obviously, the Mariners have been underperforming after their first postseason wins last season. And the Padres as well. They went to the postseason last season. Coming into the season, they had high expectations. They have, honestly, one of the best batting lineups on paper in the entire MLB. They've got guys like Juan Soto, who's just a beast up there. They just got this guy, Fernando Tatis Jr., back. They didn't have him at all last season. He had a suspension for PED use, but he's back and as jacked as ever. They have Manny Machado.
What does that mean? You think he's still on the juice?
Right. Just very strong, hits the ball really, really hard. I couldn't say whether he's still on the stuff or not. I guess that would come out by the league if that were true. But yeah, they've got just a really, really nice lineup, and they've all been kind of underperforming. They also have some really good pitching, including this guy Yu Darvish, who's really good. Despite all of that, they're currently sitting at 28-33 on the season. They're near the bottom of their division, as are the Mariners. And all that to say, they've still got that really nice lineup. So I was really nervous going into last night's game. The M's in their last series against the Rangers over the weekend gave up a total of 30 runs in the 3 games, which is not good. They lost all 3 of those games. Thankfully, Mariners pitcher Logan Gilbert had an outstanding showing last night. He pitched 7 innings, 3 hits, only allowed 1 run. He got 6 strikeouts, including this one here I'm about to play, which finished off his night.
Here comes the 2-2 to Odor. Swing and a miss. He went waving. A vicious slider. Odor cuts through, and Logan Gilbert, masterful tonight. He goes 1-2-3 here in the 7th inning, allows just 1 run in 7 innings to the Padres, and he lets out a yell as he fans Odor. What a night for Logan Gilbert. Absolutely dominant.
I really love watching the guy. He's super tall. He's got the long hair. He feels like a classic, like Randy Johnson style pitcher. So it's it's fun to watch him, especially when he's striking out a bunch of guys. In addition to that, Julio Rodriguez continued getting back to where we were hoping he was going to be. He's kind of putting in that bid for the All-Star team after starting off the season really slow. He actually hit his 11th home run of the season last night as well.
Go Julio to lead off the inning with a swing and a drive deep to left field. Back she goes, and goodbye, baseball. Upper deck, over the line, score.
I always find it really interesting. It was an away crowd. Obviously, they're in San Diego, and hearing the crowd still cheering really loud for a guy like Julio, who's obviously just a fan favorite across the league. So that was fun to hear as well. So M's won that game 4-1. They're now back at 500 exactly, a super even record, 30-30. For some context, their record last season at this time was 25-31. So we're actually doing slightly better than we were last season. Of course, going into the All-Star break last season, we had that 14-game winning streak. So hopefully we have something like that coming up soon for us before the All-Star break. There are 29 games left. And obviously the All-Star game and the All-Star weekend, all those festivities are going to be happening here in Seattle. That's beginning on July 7th. Really, really excited for that. Hopefully we can get some reporting locally going on there, get to see some of those festivities.
Okay. What's your gut say? Is this a turning point in the season? In the end of the season here, postseason, are we going to look back and look at this Rangers series as the lowest point of the season and this Padres series as a turning point?
That is really my hope. I think with the Rangers series, that was one of the more demoralizing series you could go through. That being said, some of the really key players that I think are going to be hugely important to this team are still kind of on the rise. I think Julio is coming back. He's getting even better and better every single game. He's been on a really nice hitting streak and getting a lot of home runs. So I'm really hoping that sort of ascension peaks later in the season and he just keeps growing. And the rest of the team has been really kind of underperforming. Guys like Gino Suarez, who was really good last season, Cal Raleigh, these guys who were hitting really nicely have just not been showing up yet. But I know they've got it in them. They're nothing has changed with their mentality, with their physique. So I'm hoping that those guys start getting back to it. And our pitching has just been solid all year anyways. Besides there were a couple of games against the Yankees, we gave up a bunch of runs. And then obviously against the Rangers, we gave up a
You're
ton
such
of
a Mariners
runs.
fan.
But in general, I think we have
eternal.
we have some of the best pitching. So that's the hope, is that the pitching stays good and the hitting comes and follows.
David, thank you.